So stage 2 load shedding is set to continue this weekend, but have you ever wondered how much these power costs actually, or the power cuts cost the country? Well, the IFP in Parliament have actually cited research that the figure amounts to 500 million rand, listen to this, per stage, per day.
Yeah, the party sponsored a debate around the energy crisis in the country and a threat of a protracted failure of the power utility to keep the country's lights on. Newzroom Afrika's Athi Mtongana has the story.
The chairperson of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Mkhuleko Sengwa, who also happens to be a member of the IFP, the political party which sponsored the debate around Eskom, was quick to mention that the request to debate the crisis that is currently taking place at Eskom and a threat of a protracted failure at Eskom was not as a result of some of the recent developments that took place when Scopa undertook an oversight visit at Eskom's facilities, where a heated exchange took place between him and some of the board members from Eskom.
Eskom estimates gauge that load shedding costs South Africa's economy 500 million rands per stage per day. Let me repeat, 500 million rands per stage per day. Eskom has become a curse word in every household in our country. Why? Because this entity is unable to deliver on its fundamental mandate, which is to generate enough energy to power our national grid.
Members of the National Assembly from different political parties took aim at the African National Congress as the governing party for the failure of Eskom to provide electricity to millions of South Africans. They also brought forward some of the solutions that they want to be implemented at the power utility.
We were told by the executives that the basic reasons for load shedding are the lack of skills, the lack of time and the lack of money. Well, it's true, but let's unpack the reasons for this. The lack of skills is due to the critical skills flight brought about by skilled personnel migrating abroad. Instead, there's an environment of cadre deployment, of nepotism, and the maneuvering of criminal syndicates into positions of power. Lack of time is due to the incompetence of the ANC government to plan for future power needs. After the white paper on energy in 1998, Nothing happened until 2007, when they hurriedly decided to commission new power stations that a decade and a half later are still not completed. Lack of money. Well, we all know about that, having spent the weekend reading the latest installment of the Zondo Commission and how state capture and the Gupta syndicate has looted Eskom and the country.
We said, stabilize Eskom's leadership. We do not tell you to hire incompetent people with a proven history of failing in managing complex entities. We said, stabilize coal prices to stabilize Eskom finances. We even said, if companies refuse the price, Eskom must take back its coal mines and operate them themselves. NERSA warned Eskom in 2019 that its contracts with 16 coal mining companies were poorly negotiated. The Minister of Minerals and Energy Resources, Minister Gwede Mantashe, admitted that if we don't resolve coal prices to stabilize electricity prices, the economy will collapse. But because people who are supposed to make decisions are benefiting from the Exaro contract of pay, take or pay that has led to coal amounting to $1 billion just sitting there, getting wet, are benefiting. 3 years later, Deputy Speaker, coal prices remain a problem for Eskom. Eskom will never gain stability unless there is a decisive intervention to stabilize coal.
Expertise is the critical intervention that is missing. The rolling blackouts are accompanied by a roster of rolling excuses, from sabotage to lack of maintenance to wet coal to state capture.
The Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan, came up with, once again, the solutions that he has been mentioning repeatedly every time the issue around Eskom and the energy crisis is mentioned in the National Assembly. He made mention of how, for instance, they need about 4,000 to 6,000 megawatts to go online to alleviate the pressure that Eskom is currently having. He was also at pains to mention that not all ANC members are actually corrupt and that not all ANC MPs are thugs, as alluded to by some of the opposition party MPs who are debating the issue at Eskom.
Is Eskom broken or dysfunctional? Eskom is not broken. It is not dysfunctional, but it does have a crisis and it does have a series of challenges, and as we said, it will take time to resolve some of them. And in particular, if we are able to acquire 4,000 to 6,000 megawatts additional energy for Eskom, then we create the space for the kind of maintenance that actually needs to occur. Is there a threat of a protracted failure of Eskom? No. Because ultimately, the Eskom that we know today won't be the Eskom that you will recognize in 10 years' time. It will be a completely different entity.
For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Athi Mtongana in Parliament.